So, if you're watching this, you've probably heard of Dragonsheep's challenge, where you just generate a random hybrid and you have to draw it, get your creative juices flowing. And yeah, I never have. I get writers, artists, whatever's block way too easily, so yeah, let's do this. Alright, so the first character is Freetail. He is a Sandwing Rainwing hybrid. He has the tail barb of a Sandwing with some venom shooting instead of the Sandwing stinger, and he has the frill of the Sandwing and the colors of the Rainwing. Personality-wise, he's very bubbly and makes friends very easily. He's the kind of dragon who would help you out when you're having trouble. Injury and disability-wise, he's mostly fine. He doesn't really have anything that bothers him. He embraces his ability. Sorry, I meant to say abilities. The thing cut off because a call came. History-wise, he had a pretty normal life, but when he became about a young dragonet age, his parents, like the age that a dragonet would go to Jade Mountain, his home was bombed by an enemy tribe, and he ended up losing his family. He was adopted by Thorn and her Outclaws and has been loyal to them ever since. He's friends with Quibbly because I just think that would be awesome. And just like a little note about him is that his venom shooting tail barb is actually inspired by the Mongolian deathworm, which is a cryptid. I absolutely love cryptids, so yes, everything is cryptid related. Yay! So yeah, that's all I have to say about him. The next character I created was a Seawing Nightwing named Callisto. She is probably my second favorite. They're basically, like, I love them all so much. Like, some of these are some of my favorite characters I've gotten from a challenge, but Callisto is a Seawing Nightwing who is named after a moon that has water under its surface. I was negotiating naming her Enceladus, but I have another character named Enceladus, so yeah. Abilities, she has little glowing spots like the stars on the Nightwing wings, and she has a relatively, like a version of the Nightwing foretelling powers where she can predict like changes in the tide and in aquatic dangers. She also has the thick Seawing tail so she can whack people. Her personality is more of an anxious one. She never had much social interaction for the first younger part of her life, so she's not very good with making friends. But she's still a very trustworthy dragon, and also naive, just like Freetail. Disability-wise, she actually has half-blindness, like she's very hard of seeing. That's not how you say it, but like, so she has to wear glasses because otherwise she can't really make out people's figures, and because she lived in the depths, and if you know anything about Greenland sharks, they actually lose their eyesight from parasites that get into their eyes, so she kind of had that, but she got out of the depths soon enough, so she didn't lose her sight completely. Her backstory, to put it simply, she lived deep under the ocean, but then moved to the surface. The third and final character is Upus, a Hivewing Icewing. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Her name is derived from a cold-resistant beetle. She's incredibly stuck up and an absolute annoying brat, and not many dragons can get along with her without losing their minds. Although she loves her own face more than her own friends, she will do whatever it takes to protect them. Except if she's in a life or death scenario, in which case she will always choose life to save her beautiful face. Really, the only kind of ability she has is that her wings are a bit different and they're like a beetle encasing. She doesn't really have any powers, but she's fine with that. She has no disabilities because if she did have any, she would lose her mind over correcting them. Her backstory is that an Icewing somehow found their way to Pantala and ended up falling in love with a Hivewing, but quickly discovered the hive mind and fled in terror. Once returning to her homeland of ice, she had her dragonet and took the egg to the queen. The queen decided to raise the egg as her own, disappointingly, the queen at the time was extremely self-loving, and that rubbed off on Upis, which left us with the dragonet we have today.